The following podcast is brought to you by Astro Panda Productions. For more information or to find other great shows, visit astropandaproductions.com or visit the Astro Panda Productions page on blogtalkradio.com.
Welcome.
Welcome to the Gaming with Scissors podcast.
I love it!
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Gaming with Scissors podcast. Donald Trump just tweeted out that from now on, anytime you do anything, there's a microtransaction associated. You gotta pay. You gotta pay to do anything. You gotta pay to pay your bills. You gotta pay to turn on your water in the morning. No politics in the podcast.
Like every morning you have to pay, or is this like a one-time transaction?
The WB decided.
No, just anytime you actually want water. Or
Anytime you do
utilities.
anytime you do anything. If you pee, that's a microtransaction. You be talking on your phone,
Dude.
microtransaction. I mean, you can.
But what about when you use Twitter? Does he have to pay this?
He's rich. Rich people don't pay things, but
Well,
that's how they stay rich.
They do pay things. It just doesn't phase them.
That's how they stay rich. You ain't stay rich if you paying for things, son. That's why poor folk got to pay for everything, so they stay poor and sad, like us.
That's part of the grand scheme, isn't it? We're not.
No, we're just sad. It's kind of the same. Anyway, hey,
All right.
Sean. Hey,
Let's
Sean Piper.
do this. What?
You know who else is with us today?
Who is it?
Wolfman Musselford.
Tell me.
Wolfman Musselford's here.
Wow.
That guy.
That guy. And it's
What's
the
up, that
return
guy?
of Wolfman Musselford. And this is a full second album out at this point, right? Or pretty close to?
No, I'm working on an EP, which is like a half album. I've got 2 more tracks to go, but I'm going to toss some bonus ones in there, so it should end up being close to an hour, hopefully.
Hey, man.
But it's a little ways out.
That's
But
more
it's
albums
free. It's
than I
free, and
have.
you can grab it in the state that it's in on bandcamp.com. Just Google Wolfman Musselford. There's only one out there.
Can I get it on SoundCloud? Oh.
Those tracks you can, and you know what? The CEO stepped down. They got a bailout from somebody, so SoundCloud is still a thing as of this recording.
Is it?
Yes,
Right.
it did not go under. I read that.
But you still have to pay microtransactions
I
to
didn't
use
know that.
There might be some microtransactions involved. Yeah,
it. When you pay them, though,
Everywhere.
it just means that you get a fancy suit. And then your songs still sound like shit. Because
they'll give you a plastic diamond play button like YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. So
I want that.
I'm Nitro Weasel 3K. I'm cranking off my rocker tonight. And the other...
You need to calm down. That's what I say.
No, I need to... Something's got to happen.
Get
Also,
drink.
Piper is here. How are you, sir?
Piper's here. I'm good. I'm hanging out, and I'm ready to talk about microtransactions and drink a beer.
Piper's wife would really want to be a part of this podcast. She's all yelling numbers in the background, trying to throw everything off.
No, she was in a different room. She's just harassing me through so I record in this in my studio, right? I call it my studio because I want to feel fancy. It's just a big giant room with all my garbage in it, and we have French doors that go into the bedroom and into the living room, like 2 different sets. And she's just standing, watching me in the living room, just screaming 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm trying to count down for the damn podcast.
Don't worry about it. We're gonna actually cut that out, and we'll have Nick edit it back in. It'll make the final cut.
Oh, it will, and it's fine. I hope she's
It's
enjoys
funny.
it. So I'm
Yeah.
ready to go though.
So, okay. Well, that's fun. So beyond getting yelled at and microtransacting Twitter or whatever the hell I was talking about earlier, Piper, what you play this week?
Oh, I played a wonderful spectrum of games this week. So was it Saturday? Did we stream on
Yes,
Saturday?
we did. Yep.
So we played 2 games on Saturday because we've been playing 2 games whenever we stream. It's always, I don't know why it works out that way. But we played Dungeons and Dragons Chronicles of Mystara.
I have that.
Dude, oh, you should
That's
play.
the side-scroller one,
That's
right?
a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
yeah.
You should have played with us. It was fun. Yeah, we were. I got to be an elf lady. That's all I'm looking to be in life. Just a lady elf.
Just a lady.
Hey, man.
Man,
Nothing wrong with that.
don't join the
No
army.
politics in the podcast.
Goals are goals.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nitro Weasel identifies as a elf lady.
That's an elf
It's
lady.
fine.
Right.
You can be whatever you want, man.
That's who I
support
identify
you.
as.
But
You're all welcome.
this is just elf lady. You know, I really like the game, and I think it's more nostalgia than anything because I used to go to like the PX and play that game in the arcade like all the time. So that's why I really like it, and it was just maybe reminded me of trips to the PX and chewy, kind of slightly gross pizza.
You know
Yeah, it's very arcadey. It kind of reminds me, if I'm thinking of the right one, of Golden Axe, which I sunk a lot of time into when I was little.
It's like if Golden Axe had depth to it.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
There's like RPG elements. You level your guy up, you pick up gear, you cast spells.
It was fun, except for you and I had no idea how the hell to cast the spells for like the first 20 minutes we were playing, and we're just like, man, hit the fucking button. I just go. And I'm just using my knife. I'm just knifing people, knife. And then I found out that I had unlimited arrows, so I was just being a dick with those.
arrow.
So that was a lot of fun. That was a cool stream. We actually had a few people show up to that one when we were playing that. What else?
As fun as
Yeah,
Depth.
not normals.
I don't even. No, I don't think it's as fun as Depth. Nothing is as fun as Shark Murder.
Yeah, that's a pretty good
Or
group
Bigfoot
game to
hunting.
play.
That's for Jones if she's listening, because she still wants us to play.
Yeah.
Game more, and we can, but she's got to be available when we do it.
Well, she's always like gets on when we're in the middle of a stream, and she's like, "Let's play Bigfoot," and I'm like, "No, we're in the middle of this. We're playing Gigantic, or we're playing Gigantic."
So what else did we play? I can't remember what else we played on the stream.
We also played 7 Days to Die.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and we live in a house currently. We should go back and check that. I forgot about
Dude,
that.
I've been playing that game since it came out, and I've met some of the developers from Fun Pimps. They're in Austin. I think it's Austin or Dallas, but I met them at a convention, and they're super cool dudes. And that game has gotten so much better from when I actually played it regularly, because Micah and I used to play it all the time, and then we didn't play it. I stopped playing it for, I don't know, at least over a year, maybe a year and a half, and jumped back in. When we played it, I had a really good time.
Yeah, dude, it was super fun. Yeah, except for we kept getting murdered when we couldn't find each other, and then we finally figured out how the like tracking system worked. And
Yeah, it's kind of
the problem with the game like that on stream is that you and I forget that we're supposed to be entertaining and like talking to each other, so it just ends up being a bunch of like, and they're just quiet because we're just like sitting here dumbfounded trying to figure out how to cram a stick inside a rock and make a fire or whatever the hell you do in those games. You're just like, no, it's fine. We got this. We're survival experts.
And then you accidentally used the broken glass.
I found out something fun about that. You can eat broken glass.
Yeah, David Blaine does that.
Dude, yeah, well, Matt was a bad
I'm the
David Blaine,
worst David
and he
Blaine.
died.
Just like real life me is also
So-
the worst David Blaine.
Yeah. So you pick up stuff, like you can pick up a chair, and then you break it down into its parts, so you can get wood out of it, or you can go and break down bullets, and you can get the brass. Well, what was it? A jar?
Yeah,
Was
I
it
had a
glass
bunch of
jar?
glass jars that I'd found that had like toilet water in them that I was drinking, and so I had a bunch of like
it's
empty
just
pee jars that I needed to like do something with.
So he like smashed, because he broke them down, and it breaks down into shards of glass. And I'm guessing that you can probably like maybe smelt those down into like sheets of glass. That's my guess. I don't know.
So there would be no other reason to be able to do what I had done to those glasses.
But instead you break it down into like shards of glass, and then it gives the option that you can drop it or use it. Like you can't break it down any further than that. So
Obviously.
it means you ingest it and you bleed
you
out.
just swallow it, and it just cuts your insides all up, and then you just die right there. And I'm just like, oh, that was fun. Like, and
Is
then
that
it
a win condition for the game then?
I don't know.
Yeah, you got a special achievement in Steam for that. Just be like, you dumb. That's the achievement name.
You bad at everything. Why are you so bad at everything?
Yeah.
That's the achievement.
Emo kid.
The story kind of reminds me of when Matt and I played Rust for the first time. I was playing
God.
Rust, and like, he built a cabin for us, and then like the wall explodes and the guy murders us. And then he brings me back to life because I'm like playing a female. Like, he's like giving me advice about how we should build our walls. I'm like, thanks, dick.
Yeah.
You just killed us. Like, go away.
He exploded our floor out from underneath of us because our house was kind of like on an incline. And we ran inside and closed the door and locked it. And I was like, oh, we'll be fine in here. And then our house just explodes. Because apparently if your house is on an incline and you can see the floor, if you don't reinforce the floor and he hits it, the whole house just blows up. Because good programming. So, that was fun. And then the guy was like, you guys didn't really have anything.
Thanks, jerk.
Probably like, build your house better. And Tim's like, cool.
Can I have my loincloth back? I'm feeling a little exposed up here
Tim's
in
like,
the north.
so I'm never playing this game again. Deuces. And then we just both signed off for like, nah.
Forever. I haven't
We're done
been
with
back
this.
on since.
Right.
We had a good Rust experience.
For a little bit, yeah.
Matt and I did. We went and we were doing okay in the game. Dongs flopping around, looking for
Sliding to
pants.
the right.
That's side note. That's the dong.
Why is there not a
episode.
hashtag slider to the right t-shirt on t-shirts.pizza?
Dude, there will be. We were talking about what shirts need to be made, and we're gonna do. But it's gonna say. This is totally off topic. Thanks for the rabbit trail. It's going to say, "May your slider be forever to the right."
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I think is a much better quote, especially since all the
No one's gonna
survival
get
games are
that.
cool right now. And
Yeah, it's kind of Jedi-esque sounding.
well, we are on the cutting edge of the Hunger Games. That was only out like 5 years ago or something.
Yeah, that's what this is. It's Hunger Games. May the odds forever be in your favor.
So
Anyway, so we were playing Rust, and we were looking around, and we find this house, and there's just like people sleeping in it, and we were like, "Oh shit! Look at all this stuff!" So we go and we ransacked all the things. Didn't we blow their front
I
door
had
off?
found one mine. And we're like, well, fuck this.
So
And
we
we just
stuck
stuck
it
it to
to
the
the
door and
door.
just blew it off the hinges.
So we run in there, and we're like, "Look at this stuff! There's 2 guys sleeping. Let's kill them!" So we like bashed their heads in. We took all this stuff, and we're like, "Yeah!" So we go back to our house, and we locked the door, right? And we had our rolls in there, right? And we had a key on our body, and somehow someone killed us. I don't remember how we died, but we died. And so then, because you die and you drop all of your stuff, well, we go back to the house, and we can't get out of the house because our key is in the body, and there was no way to open it from inside the house. So we're like, what do we do? So we just bashed each other until we were dead, and then we logged out because really, it's like I'm stuck in this house. I guess we could have. Now that I think about it, we probably could have destroyed our bedrolls, and then we could have just spawned over. But whatever. That's what happened. So we screwed ourselves, but it was fun. We should play it again.
That's when it was like
play it
3 in the
We
morning.
should all play it as a
things,
group.
Where it was like 3 in the morning, and we're just like, fuck it. Like, we don't know what's happening. We're just we're killing each other with rocks and just throwing your meat inside the furnace for fun. Like, I don't know.
Whoa!
I have no idea.
Hey, throw your meat inside the furnace.
So, yeah. So that was a lot of fun. What else did you play?
I've been playing a weird game by Klee. They made Don't Starve.
Okay. Yeah.
What? How you say their name? Klei. Klee.
Yes.
I know
Whatever.
Don't Starve.
Clay. There we go. That's the name of the company. I couldn't think of it. So yeah, they make Don't Starve, but they came out with the game. It's in early access right now. It's earliest access, and it's called Oxygen Not Included.
I feel like I heard of
And
it, but I don't have any idea what that game is about.
Probably from me. Have you ever played a game called Craft the World? Okay. So it's a mixture of a crafting game, and I guess there's not crafting. It's base management is what it is. So
Kerbal Space
it's one of those
Program.
things where no, not quite. So I only play it like when I'm watching. I just got HBO again because Game of Thrones. So I'm trying to catch up on all these shows I've never watched before. So I'll put a show on and I'll play this game because I don't have to pay attention to it. There's nothing's gonna happen. So it's kind of one of those like just mindless like I like games like that sometimes. But so anyway, it's closer. It's like Sim theme park, or the Sims. So that's the closest thing I think of. You start off with like 3 astronauts. They crash land inside of an asteroid, and you basically just have to survive, and you build a base inside here. But since you're on an asteroid, there's pockets of oxygen, and then there'll be like pockets of other gases. So as you expand out, you have to put in airlocks. You have to build like oxygen machines that like will purify the air. You have to build like algae camps that'll like eat up carbon dioxide and spit out oxygen. It's kind of just a dumb game. I like it a lot. It's a lot of fun, but it's it's not an exciting game.
Sounds a lot like what was that Minecraft add-on? It was Spacecraft or whatever, where you could go to the moon and you had to build like airlocks and air filtration systems for you to not die. It would essentially be like poison. Like if you walked outside when you didn't have a spacesuit on, it would just go and it would just eat your health away.
Sounds like my house. I live with a 7-year-old and 2 dogs. I'm always, and myself.
So you're always having to build oxygen
pockets
machines.
Of gas.
Jesus.
It's what? Yeah, it's a good game. It really is. I'm excited to see it once they actually add more to it, because it's pretty stripped down right now. And
what was the name of it again?
Oxygen not included. Yeah, I think it's like $10 on Steam. I got it during Steam sales on sale, and I'm having a good time with it. It's like not exciting, but it's there. That's a good way. That's my seal of approval.
Anything else?
No, I played Overwatch.
Does it?
I played Overwatch.
Yeah. Too much Overwatch.
No, I only played one day. I played like 5 games. We were playing with Ricky, the guy that owns the podcast network that we are on. He owns Astro Panda Productions. So we actually helped him build a computer just recently. And so he's finally, I think, getting to the point where he can play some games on it. His life's settling down. And that he wanted to play that last night because he finally bought it. Because he's been playing. I mean, I always give him a hard time because he plays it on PS4 with his kids. And I told him, why don't you man up and actually play the real game and not like a
controller version,
like a worse version of. Yeah, well, he was playing it on PC with an Xbox One controller.
Oh, well, you know what you know, I guess.
Boo.
He messages me and he was like, "Hey man, can I play? How do I play Overwatch on my computer with my PS4 controller?" I said, "First,
Google it.
Take your control. First, you take your controller." And you unplug it from your PC, and you play it with the goddamn keyboard and mouse like God intended. He didn't like that response. Later, we figured out you can only use the Xbox One controller. So
that's weird. PlayStation controllers have always been funky to get connected to PCs, though. They've always kind of been a hassle to get them working right.
It works well on Steam now. Like I can play Steam games with my PS4 controller, but I prefer an Xbox One controller on a PC anyway. It just feels normal to me, but I've never been a Sony guy.
I'm still using 360 controllers.
Yeah, me too. I love my 360.
Yeah, that's my kind of go-to.
Resurrected mine.
Yeah, I got a wired one and I plug in, and that's my go-to. But sometimes I'm like, I want the Xbox One controller. I want to feel fancy today, like a gentleman.
This is the equivalent of a PC top hat. This is my top hat. My top hat controller. My white gloves. My top hat.
Monocle.
I got a monocle. I just slapped one of those poor working persons near the door because he looked at me cross-eyed.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
It's funny. That's the only piece of my Xbox One I actually use is the controller.
Only part that actually works, isn't it?
Yeah, because mine stopped. I bought mine. It worked for. Oh no, I don't think it ever worked. But my disk drive is just like super loud. It works. I mean, it'll read discs, but it's just.
Yeah, but then you have to like play it once it's on, and nobody wants that. Nobody wants to play that system.
Yeah, I'd rather just. Well, there's a few games, but yeah, for the most part, I just play my PS4. Better games anyway. I hate saying that because I don't want to like Sony. I really don't. Good. I've always been like, oh, Xbox, yeah. But you know what? This generation, I'm just kind of like, you know what? I can at least respect the fact that Sony did stuff right.
I like my PS4. I played some of it this week, which we'll get to.
We recently got that PlayStation Vue TV. We were trying that out, and but since I have the,
so that's just like a Roku player, right?
Yeah, you basically it's kind of like comparable to Sling. I like it better than Sling. personally, but I do have the PS3 hooked up, and since I do, what I really should do is play The Last of Us, because, was it Nick gave me that? And
have you
I've
never played Last of Us?
You're missing out, sir.
Whoa.
And
a lot.
that's why I need
what
to
is
play
wrong
it.
with you?
Why are you on here right now?
I think we need to. You're banned from this podcast.
All right, bye.
Matt and I are doing ourselves.
Hey guys, Wacky Crazy Hour with Sean and Matt. We're just going to talk politics that we don't know anything about. And then we're going to talk about how microtransactions ruin everything. And then we're going to talk about dogs. And then that's going to be the end of it. It'll be 4 hours long. And then
Nobody
then
learned
you will
anything.
never see me again because I will be editing it for the rest of my life. All right, cool. Did you? Was that all you played this week?
That's it. I think it's
All right,
commercial
cool.
time.
Yeah, we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be back, and I will tell you what kind of garbage I played this week. So hang on. Hey, we're back.
Hey,
That was the longest
Hey
pause
there.
ever.
Yeah. So for me this week, I played Yakuza 0, which
What is that?
what is it or how is it?
what is it?
Yeah. No, I said, what is that?
So did you ever play? I'm trying to think if there's any games that it's similar to. Shenmue. Did you ever play Shenmue
I played Sleeping Dogs.
on Dreamcast at all? Nobody.
Nope.
I played Sleeping Dogs.
So Shenmue was it was like an action-y adventure kind of game, but there was a really heavy portion of it where you were supposed to just go exploring, right? You were supposed to explore the city you were in. So you go around, there was like, you could stop and get something to eat, you could go to these vending machines and play with them, and you could, there was collectibles you could pick up, and you could go and be like, I'm gonna go boat racing today or whatever, and you just go do that. And so it's kind of like that. It's a slightly watered down version of what GTA kind of is now.
Is it third person? Or?
Yeah, it's third person. So Yakuza 0 is it's interesting. It's not exactly wander wherever you want. There are certain sections where it limits the map and you don't get to go wherever you want, so it's not as open as like a Grand Theft Auto. But there's a lot of weird submissions you can take. Like for some reason, my guy just is like, I just got this tiny race car. I'm gonna go race it in this weird Japanese tiny race car club. And that's just a thing I do. I don't know.
What's not to love?
Yeah, so, and then you can like buy a new engine. You're like, I got this new engine for my tiny race car. But you can do all these like weird hobbies.
It's like a hobby simulator.
Like
it's just
that's
real
like
life.
the backdrop to it, and then there's like the main story. So some of the other stuff you can do on the side is like there's this guy who's called a knockout artist, I think is what he calls himself, and he essentially just like
Shinsuke
lets
Nakamura?
people beat the shit out of him. That's like he's like, if you can knock me out, in 5 minutes or whatever, you get double your money back, and so you can be one of those guys if you wanted to get hit in the face all day. You can get drunk at different bars, which I've done several times. You can do that. You can play those little crane game machines, and they're Sega branded, so they've got like actual Sega characters inside of the crane games that you can get, which is kind of weird.
So you can get you a Knuckles doll.
Yeah, like whatever. Yeah, you can get I got a stuffed Sega Saturn for no goddamn reason, which is about as useful as a real Sega Saturn, which is not
I'm
at all.
surprised you got anything out of a claw machine,
yeah.
virtual or otherwise.
I am better at it than that because I can kick the shit out of like 4 guys, get like $50,000, and go in there and just play it on, slot machines or whatever. So you can go to the track and bet on horses. You can play baseball. There's all kinds of shit you can do. So when you're not doing all that fun shit, you are an excommunicated guy from the Yakuza, and somebody set up the guy who brought you into the Yakuza and then tried to frame you for murder. So you're trying to go around and clear your good name and all this stuff, and you leave the Yakuza so that essentially you're a civilian. So you weren't like allowed to kick the shit out of guys who were higher than you in the Yakuza because you were a Yakuza, but once you're a civilian, you can do whatever you want apparently. And that's not going to totally cause problems at all somehow. I was under the impression if you went to fight a Yakuza guy, they would still kick the shit out of you even if you're a civilian, but apparently not. Not in this game. Not in this world. So the cool thing is when fights happen, they limit the amount of space that you get to move around, and it kind of becomes almost like a Streets of Rage-esque brawler where you have to defeat the enemies in the area before it'll let you move on.
Okay.
And you have 3 different styles. So you've got like, I don't have the third style yet, so I don't know what it is, but the first style is like heavy. And with heavy, you've got like 3 alt bars, like 3, big, massive ultimate attack bars. And if you fill all 3 of them, you can like pick like a motorcycle up and like hit the guy with it. It's awesome.
Well, like you turn into a
it's
freaking
sweet,
Hulk.
but you're just like a really nicely dressed Japanese man. Yeah, it's great. It's awesome. You're just a friendly
You're
Japanese
like,
man.
oh, I'm jacked up on angel dust. I can pick up.
I'm gonna
this
take bath
motorcycle.
salts all day. I'm gonna eat your face and hit you with this car.
PCP
That's
simulator.
what those bars are. Those bars are how much PCP you've ingested.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. But the other one that you can get is speed, where you're like all dodgy and weavy and whatever, but you can like run and just do a drop kick to a guy and he just flies off across the map. It's sweet. So it's very cartoony, very bright and colorful. It's cool. I like it. It's a good time. I know that there's like mini games where you can like deliver pizzas and stuff. And apparently, I found a building that is like an adult dance place. It sounds like it sounds like a strip club, but it's like you have to like meet girls around town and then be friends with them, and then they'll just be in here. And I'm like, what is happening? Like one of the first things, it's super Japanese. Like the whole game is super Japanese.
Super Japanese.
It really is. Like the one of the missions that I just came up on, like this guy's like, my girlfriend's cheating on me. She keeps buying all these underwears when we're out, and then she has times to go on dates. And so I like go and talk to his girlfriend, and she's like, no, dude, I just sell my underwear to weird men. And I'm just like, what? What?
Like you do.
And she's like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm 17. I'm like, what? What?
Perfect.
What? And then she's like, oh yeah, there's like a mean girl at my school and she makes me do it. Can you go kick the shit out of her? And I'm just like,
Of course.
video games. This is video games, everybody. Yeah, it's super weird. But there's all kinds of like super weird Japanese cultural things in it. And it's kind of neat. Like if you go into the bars, they've got all this like classic Japanese liquors and liqueurs that you can drink, and it tells you like all about them, like why they taste special and why they're a big deal in Japan, all this stuff. So it's really interesting. It's like it's a very Japanese culture centric game. But
was this in import?
no. Zero. Yeah, I mean I think it's Japanese developed, but I believe if I remember correctly, they caught on bigger here than they expected them to, because they're super Japanese. So the original ones were on like PS2 and Xbox, I think. And they actually are releasing at the end of the month. They're getting an HD re-release on PS4. You're going to be able to get 1 and 2 in like a set. And it's like $29. So I actually pre-ordered that because I've been having a lot of fun with Zero, because Zero is like the prequel to everything. It's a new game, but it's the prequel to 1 and 2. So I'm like, fuck it. Like now's a good time to jump on it. Might as well go for it. So I went ahead and ordered those. So that's cool. So I played that. I also plated.
You plated things?
I plated the Shrouded Isle. That's why I plated it. Have you guys? There was an article on Kotaku about this game. Have you guys seen it yet? Or played
Sounds
it?
familiar.
Oh, the cult game, right?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
It looks really cool.
You're a cult leader, right? And you are trying to appease your god within 3 years, because for some reason you've decided that God's going to come back to Earth in 3 years. And the rounds are set up like they're seasons, right? So there's 3 months per season. So you've got 5 houses that live in the area. It's kind of like Game of Thrones or something. Like there's 5 houses and they all hate each other. And so there's 5 families, and each family is responsible for one part of your like cult lifestyle. Like one family is like the book burning family. And one family is like the penance family. They like, they're like, you got to whip yourself for God. And one family is the enforcement family. So if somebody sasses you, they go and murder them. And one family is, I can't remember what the other family is. I don't remember. But there's like 5 families. They're all in charge of a different part of like your cult, essentially like life. And you have to balance like making them happy with your God talking to you, because sometimes when you go to sleep, your God will say, give me the dumb one. And you're like, what? So how it works is you go into the houses, and the houses that you're in good favor with, you can do something called investigate, essentially. So you go into the houses, and each person in the house, there's 6 people in every house. They each have 2 traits, and you don't know what the traits are. You might have an idea, like it might be like this person is, shy, but it'll say question mark after it. But that's just because you heard a rumor that they're shy. They may not actually be shy. They may be, stupid. Like,
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Did this come up in your game feed because you played Town of Salem? Because I'm seeing some similarities.
No, I just am obsessed with cults. I've been reading a book about Jim Jones, and my life is getting real weird. Like, super weird. So, that's the thing. That's how I'm doing. Yeah, so it turns into a management game because each of these families have to stay happy with you, but at the end of each season, you have to kill one of the family members. You have to sacrifice them to your god. So your god will tell you who to sacrifice, then you have to figure out which personality trait which person in which family has that the god wants you to kill them. So he'll say, give me the one who's too smart, or give me the one who's stupid, or give me the one with the foul mouth, or give me the one who cooks, or whatever, and you got to find that person and kill them. So it's really interesting. The way you find out how good they are is at the beginning of each season, you pick one representative from each house, and then you send them off to do a job. You can send up to 3 people to do jobs at a time. So you select which members you want to do the job. You send them to do the job. For that whole month, they're busy. So you get to do this 3 times for every round you play, right? And each one of them, depending on their personality trait, will do good at the job or bad at the job, or they'll have an effect on a different person's job. So one guy might be unpenitent, like he might be like, oh, I don't believe in whipping yourself. So if he's the guy that's in charge of book burning, let's say, while he's with the team burning the books, he's going to be like, you shouldn't whip yourselves. And they'll be like, yeah. So the guy who does the whipping, his bar will go down. So you're trying to manage like the levels on all these different bars to keep your cultiness up or whatever. So it's really interesting. And if you have to sacrifice somebody at the end of the season. If you don't have enough information about each person and you sacrifice them, the family gets pissed at you and they won't help you anymore.
Wait, I find it more odd that like you do sacrifice someone from their house and it is the right person. They're just okay with it?
No, they just hate you less. They're still frustrated with you, but they hate you less. So it's really interesting. It's kind of like if like a management sim and Town of Salem and Clue got together in some weird 3-way and had a weird messed up baby. That's all it is. So, but it's sweet because you get to run your cult. You're being all culty. It's awesome. So it's very Lovecraftian. The look of the game, it's kind of the same colors as an old Game Boy screen. So it's like that green and that darker green.
It's like monochrome.
Yeah, and then when you kill somebody, it's all bloody. There's blood everywhere. It's great. Music's really good. The drawings of all the family members are really neat. And every time you play the game, the traits on the family members change. So every time you play, it's a different game. So it's
very roguelike.
Yeah, it's really neat. I like it. I like it a lot. So I played that. I played Hacknet, which is like a fake hacker game. Just basically, it's like
I
you're
have
looking at
that.
the screen and some dead hacker's ghost emails you and is like, I got killed. You got to find a guy who done it. And then you got to go do that. So that's fun. It was cheap. It was cheap. I picked it up, I think, on one of the sales, or I got it in a Humble Bundle. But it's fine. If you're into computers, it uses a lot of actual code. So, a lot of like the remove and copy and locate commands that you use in Linux, it actually uses in the game. So that's kind of neat. And if you're super lazy, there's a point and click interface. But don't be a lazy bish and learn some code, son. Learn how to use your command line.
Type it.
Bleep.
Type it up. Type up your bleeps and bloops. So play that.
That's his bleeps and bloops.
On my streams, I've been doing Pocket Mirror and Anchorhead, but we had the biggest fail ever on Text Game.
Did you have a police quest moment?
Not only did we die, but the following week, I lost power at my house. Well, that game was stored in a browser window, and we lost all of our progress.
Bummer days.
Yeah. So it's taken Nick and I think we were 4 days deep in this game that's supposed to take you 2 hours to beat because we're dumb and lost all of our progress. So that's radical.
How about those? So do you remember the decisions you made up to that point? Can you hurry
I don't remember what I had for
back
breakfast
to the
today.
point you're at somehow?
I don't remember I don't know what I had for breakfast. I don't know how I got dressed this morning. What do you mean? Do I remember the decisions I made? The best thing I could hope for is go back and watch my own damn stream and figure it out. But we're gonna figure something out. Like I might just pull up a tutorial and just go as far as we were before.
The walkthrough of the text game.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna do a walkthrough. But like the nice thing is, if I have the walkthrough, I won't even have to like read anything. Like I'll just pop the walkthrough and they just say go west, go left, go right, go west, go east, go south, open, close, pick up. Like it's like really quick. So
Congratulations.
yeah, so I can just run through that, I think, and try to get back. So if you guys wanted more Text Game Tuesday, let us know. We'll continue Anchorhead, or we'll find a different one. I actually was having a lot of fun with that, and we were rocking out to some of Tim's music while we were playing it, so that was kind of neat.
Right, and that's why I'm interested. I wanted to kind of do some ambient stuff to that. If I could, I think it would be kind of neat.
Yeah, we were actually talking about maybe having Wolfman Musselford mix live while we were playing that, because we thought that would be kind of cool to have him be able to jump in there and mix some stuff while we were...
Just, stuff that sounds like Ookie Spooky Party Skeletons.
Ookie Spooky Party Skeletons. By the way, you can now be the proud owner of a t-shirt that says Ookie Spooky Party Skeletons over on t-shirts.pizza. It's got some sweet skeletons wearing just Hawaiian shirts. I think it sums up my life nicely. So
I love how you just dropped it.
It's definitely a conversation piece type of t-shirt.
It is. It's great. It's fantastic. And they're dancing. It's the best. I love it. There is also
it
a
kind
shirt
of looks like
on
they're
there right
holding
now
hands.
that is a new design that we developed for GeekFest, actually. Right, Sean?
Are you talking about the skull?
Yeah, the skull.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't mean anything at all.
It looks
but
cool.
It's a super like punk looking, very graphic illustration skull.
Yeah, with glasses.
I
'cause
like
it's a
it.
nerd.
It was pretty cool.
It's sweet.
Yeah, he got them glasses
Yeah,
on.
so
But we got a bunch of new shirts coming, so we're working on those now.
I would describe it as Powell Peralta meets NerdLife TX.
there you go. And we are also the proud vendor for the Wolfman Muscle shirt.
Hell yeah.
Wolfman,
The old Wolfman Muscle shirt. So if you want to see Wolfman Musselford's own illustration on his own damn shirt, head over to t-shirts.pizza. You can buy it there. That'd be pretty cool if you did that. So definitely check that out. Okay, well, I've talked a lot. So Tumultuous / Wolfman Musselford, what did you do in Video Gamers this week?
Well, I did the normal Vanilla WoW and Rocket League, but I do that all the time, so that's nothing new. But
Boo.
Zero Ping Nick had a LAN party last weekend, and we played Path of Exile, which was a lot of fun.
How overwhelmed were you by the insane amount of options in that tree?
Less so than I was overwhelmed trying to find a name that wasn't already taken. So I ended up, yeah, it's a free game, so everything you try is already taken. So I ended up landing on Fucking Password was my character's name.
Fucking Password is your character.
Yeah, yeah, but it was kind of fun, because it became a thing. Like, anytime I ran into somebody from the land, they'd be like, "Oh, it's Fucking Password!" Yeah. So it became that was fun.
Sweet.
We also played Artemis, but going back to Path of Exile, we ended up playing that more. We had to split up into two parties because we couldn't have everybody that was at the land.
Because there's like
playing
85
together.
people there.
There was 8,
Y'all
so
had
we
like
did
85
two
people. I don't know
groups
8
of
people.
4. Yeah,
I ain't
I
never
didn't
met
either,
8
but they
people.
were there, so we played video games together.
That sounds horrible. Ain't nobody want to
we
hang
ended
out
up-
with 8 people.
This is because you're a hermit.
I like my hermitude. Thank you.
So we ended up finishing Act 1 on that, and I enjoyed it more than I have so far playing like Diablo 3. I don't know why that is. Probably the flexibility of the character trees, like you were saying.
I think Sean and
You
I...
can literally make anything in that game.
Yeah,
love
like
it.
I made a I don't, he's a duelist or something. Like, looks like the guy from Princess Bride or something, and I just put all these points into like dexterity and then life steal. So basically, I just run up to anything as long as I'm hitting it. I'm stealing life, so I just ended up being a tank, basically, a DPS tank. So I was like invulnerable as long as I was doing damage. So that was fun.
But it's not like a normal tank, though. That's like a rogue tank, which is a lot of fun because it's different.
Yeah, it wasn't a Templar. I think that's what Nick and Chris were.
Boo.
But I felt like I could destroy stuff and just stay toe-to-toe with it without having to run away as long as I was dealing damage. I was stealing life from them, so...
I always, whenever I play that game, I always like to make like a like a rogue, like a shadow rogue that like does all kinds of like magic.
Yeah, I think that's what the duelist would be, but I guess it doesn't matter. With those trees, you could probably do that with any of them because you all
Yeah, it just depends on
depends
on the ability stones you pick up and the weapons you use.
Right, you socket things and those give you abilities. So you got to remember to take those out before you sell your gear or you'll lose those.
Yeah, I'm bad about that. I suck at that in just about every game. If there's any games there's like management of items that are connected to other items like that, like anything, no. It's gone. I might as well not even have it ever because
Yeah.
I sell it. I
But
can
it's
get like
also nice that
$5 for
those-
this. Yeah, you take it.
Oh, why can't I do that thing anymore? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's because I'm bad at this game. Like every game I play. So
But it's cool that those kind of level up as you play on their own. So you just did a thing over on the right-hand side. Every once in a while, you just have to add a skill to it and make it, stronger or whatever.
right. Yeah, that is pretty badass. And then you said you guys played Artemis.
We played Artemis, spaceship bridge simulator or whatever they call it.
Explain
played
to
that in the
Sean what
past.
this is, because Nick told me what this was, and I was like, I would crash that ship immediately and then play something better.
Aaron and I did something that you'll probably appreciate.
I heard
with
about that.
one. Did you?
And I do appreciate that, but you should have done what I messaged you to do while you were playing. But go ahead, tell Sean what this game is.
Okay, so it's basically hook everybody up on the LAN. You have one computer hosting it. It's like acting as a server, and everyone else connects to the IP as a client. And so you can have the main computer can have multiple displays, and then everybody picks a role. And there's more. You can have more than one ship. So like if you have too many people to do the jobs on one ship, you can run multiple ships. You can have two captains. You can have two communications officers. Someone runs engineering. Aaron and I were just fighter pilots, so we were like drone pilots in the drone bay, and there was nothing else for us to do. So when we weren't in combat, we're just sitting there, and there's like little blackjack cards. We were playing blackjack the whole time, which kind of led to what happened later. But so basically, you're sitting in a room, you have your screen set up. You can get as elaborate with it as you want as far as the setup goes. And there's some videos of the developers put on YouTube if you want to get an idea of what it's like. But it's kind of freeform. You can load up campaigns and have like a 1 front war or a 2 front war, or do different scenarios where just stuff happens and you have to kind of react to it to meet whatever win condition the game has set forth. We were doing like a single front war, but you basically started there's several space stations, kind of like Deep Space Nine in Star Trek. So there's like Deep Space 1, DS2, DS3, through DS6 or something. And when you're looking at the screen on the space layout, it's kind of 2D top down. I think that's my only complaint about it, is I'd like to see a new iteration where it's more 3D space, because when you're playing it, it's kind of like space, but you don't really go up and down in all the dimensions. So it's more like sea navigation. You are using kind of the cardinal directions, but I think they did that for simplification of navigation for like the helmsman. Your captain can say bearing whatever, and you look, and you're going bearing 180. It would be harder to do that with all the directions.
I want to take a
go
nap
in the right
already.
way.
Just hearing that
I
makes me want to fall
I
asleep.
accidentally fell asleep. That does not sound like a game. That sounds like you just employed me somewhere.
Yes, exactly. That's the
and
same
now I want to
thing
go
that I
play a game.
said. Yeah.
Did I just mansplain a game that you're not interested into?
Yes.
That
To the
sounds
internet.
like the worst.
To be fair,
That's
asked.
not a game. That's not a
No,
game.
it's not at all. That's the
Easy
same
to
thing.
play when you're drunk, though,
Yeah.
because you just
No, that sounds like it's even worse. Then I would hate it even more.
Well, here's the thing. So I'm gonna need Muscleford, explain what you did to make the game a game.
Okay, so Aaron and I were sitting in the other room. Everyone was like in his kitchen dining room area.
Everyone
But
was
there
asleep.
There wasn't enough room for everybody in there, so we were in the living room. She and I, and we were in the drone base, and there was nothing going on. So we had already launched an extra ship at the beginning on accident. We were trying to set up a server. So we snuck off and we just disconnected from that ship and went back to the main menu. We connected to this other ship as like a battle cruiser called Excalibur. and we could hear them calling stuff from the other room because like they were getting into a big battle with like a fleet of other ships that had shown up and some like space creatures that show up. And they were taking some damage, and then I heard Chris say, the Excalibur's moving, the AI is controlling it, they're gonna come help us out. And we're like looking at each other, just giggling. I took the helms and like communications or something, and she just took all the other roles. So she was doing like the weapon systems and everything else. And so we pulled up and we helped them defeat the stuff that they were fighting, and then we immediately turned on them and started blowing up, and like they're freaking out in the other room, like, oh, it's attacking us. And like when they started shooting us, I just like took off and like, oh, it's running away. And they're like, fine. And they're like, launch the drones, launch the fighters. And we're looking at each other like, good luck with that, because that was us. So we turned back around, we destroyed them, and then they kind of figured it out, and we all had a good laugh. But yeah, we totally turncoated. But the nice thing was that the server didn't give the captain or anybody else on the ship any sort of indication that we had done that. So it was a complete surprise to them.
That's funny. But you know what the thing is, though? Fun. Like, I'd like to point this out really quick for anybody who's interested in playing this game.
Nobody's interested.
They had 6 people in the other room doing these jobs. It was just Tim and his wife. Tim and his wife did everything. Like, they could simplify it down to just one dude doing everything, and that dude's gonna win against the people who are playing the game the way it's meant to be played. So yeah, that sounds like the worst game. So the whole time Tim is playing that, like, I could see them in there because I had to work on that Saturday, so I wasn't at the thing. And I was sitting here and I saw Tim in the game, and I just kept sending him messages just saying, "Crash that bitch." I'm just like, "Crash it, crash it." He's like, I'm not the captain. I'm like, "Knife the captain and crash it."
That's what I would do. Knock him out, take the reins, and then just fly into the sun.
Yeah, I think another thing I maybe could have done was like launch the fighter out of the bay and then just start shooting them with it, because they're small and fast. I don't know if they'd have been able to shoot me back.
What I would have done is I would have just walked up and just like whoever was captain, I would have just walked over and physically, actually in real life, pushed them out of their chair and been like, "Mute me." It just
you just beat everyone up, physically beat everyone down.
You just actually go in there with like knives you found in the kitchen. You're like, "Ah!"
Everyone against the wall
door of his house and throw everybody out. Just pirates. Awesome. You're just boiling oil on the stove, just dumping it out the windows, like, "Ah, get away from my stronghold."
The last thing that they were planning to do at that LAN party was to play Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, and Kyle's brother-in-law brought the new consumer version of the Oculus Rift. We didn't get to try that out, which I was kind of bummed about because I have the DK2 and I've had a lot of fun with that, but the resolution's really low, and I was looking forward to seeing what it's like, firsthand with the new consumer version, but ran out of time to do that. Yeah,
that's a bummer. They're finally starting to be games that I would like to see in the
virtual reality
or whatever.
My racing simulators are awesome.
Yeah,
with having the full wheel and pedals and the racing chair and everything, it's really immersive.
I'm bad at regular driving. I want to drive. That sounds like work.
Doesn't matter. Nobody gets hurt in virtual reality.
All of this sounds like work.
Yeah.
You might get nauseous.
I want to play work games. I want to play Rick and Morty simulator.
No, you're just gonna pay. It's like playing Papers, Please all day.
Throw Mr. Meeseeks out into the street and just make him yank his own face off. That's funny to me. I can do that all day. That's the kind of work I want to do. Do work.
I like the racing. I think it really works well with stuff where you're stationary. Like if you were in a cockpit or a car seat or something, like you don't have to be standing up, walking around, because that kind of can be disorienting. But
give me a Robotech game. I'll play that for days.
But I would love to do like a rally racing one. You're like flying around a cliff, looking down. Yeah.
Like Colin McRae or something like that.
Yeah, or like, I don't know if any of the new ones, like I just bought Drift. No, what the hell is it?
Dirt.
Project Cars?
Dirt?
Something.
No, that one I know does VR. I did iRacing in it, and I worked on Assetto Corsa, which also supports it. It's Dirt Rally. I'm wondering if that one, I just bought it. I haven't played it yet, but if that supports VR.
Dirt Rally does. Dirt Rally supports Oculus, and Dirt 4 is going to support it.
Okay, I would need to try that out. I don't wonder if it will work with my DK2, but I've had problems with Windows 10 and the drivers not wanting to work with the DK2 ever since I upgraded the operating system. We're thinking about getting the Vibe, though.
You mean
maybe.
got a new computer?
No. I think my laptop came with Windows 8 and I upgraded it.
By the way, I would like you to formally apologize to AMD on this podcast. Can you do that for me?
Yeah. AMD, I'm sorry. I don't think the RX 480 was the issue because
everybody
if
who
I combine a certain amount of hardware in different ways, I can I can continually repeat the black screen of death.
Yes. So his computer was just garbage. His computer was trash, and he was all making fun of my RX 480. My 480 is beautiful and it's great, and I love it.
But I've got a completely different motherboard in there now. And in video, everything's different, and I can still make it happen sometimes.
Well, it's all splody. You gotta get a computer that's not splody.
Yeah, I fail.
Yeah. Boo.
Hard.
All right. Did you? Is that all you played?
That is all I played. Oh, no. I also got 2 sessions now of playing the Biohazard remaster, the original Resident Evil. So.
Oh yeah. That's good.
Love it.
The HD
Love
remake
it.
is fantastic at that. That's I have an affinity for the original version, but given the option, if you said you could only play one of these, then the other one has to go away, I would pick the HD remake.
Yeah, we were playing some of it last night, and my son was in the room with us, and he ended up in our bed last night because he was a little scared.
Yeah, I was horrified of that thing the first time I saw it. I was like a teenager, like barely a teenager. When did that come out? Like 94 or 95?
Yeah, it's a PlayStation 1
Yeah.
or pretty early title. for
PlayStation 1 wasn't out in
too.
1994.
Yeah, it was. Really?
Was it? No, PlayStation.
I played it in high school, so he's got to be pretty close on that, I think.
It came out. Oh,
96. Resident
90
Evil was 96
well,
here in the States. So,
no, dang it,
Yeah.
man! I thought that was wow.
yeah, Sean.
I'm old.
I think we rented it from like Video Theater when that first came out.
Yeah.
the system or the game.
The game.
Video theater. Come in here. We got a nudie room in the back.
They did. They did used to rent
They
systems
had a nudie
too.
room. Oh,
Yeah, see, I did that like once.
We were talking about something else.
Yeah. So all right. So you played the Resident Evil. Is that it?
That's it.
Cool. All right. Let's take another quick break, and then we'll talk about how War of Mordor hates your guts and your wallet. BRB. We are back. Okay, so we've had the conversation, and Nick couldn't join us tonight, unfortunately, but because I know he's played this game. But the Shadow of Mordor, right? Sean, you like that game, correct?
Yeah, it's a really fun game. It's enjoyable.
I own it.
Okay. The last time we talked about this, Sean and Nick convinced me to play it. Have you played it?
I have not, but my wife has, I think, nearly completed it, and I've watched a lot of it.
Okay. It is a solid game. It is fun. It is like a good Assassin's Creed. So if you want like a good Assassin's Creed that there's actually like shit happening in, that's definitely your game. Play that. Herein lies the problem. The War of Mordor is coming out, right? Sounds great. Sounds awesome. You get to make an army, and instead of having just the Nemesis system, you can like beat a dude's unconscious, then drag him back to your house and be like, "You work for me now." And he's like, "No." And then you shock his testicles with a golf cart battery, and then he just works for you. That's a thing you can do in that game. So
Sweet.
Yeah. So it sounds awesome. It looks awesome. It looks epic and huge. However, they just announced on the WB Games official announcement, community forum, whatever the hell it is,
WB.
that they're going to be chock full of microtransactions, son.
Say it ain't so.
Ooh, everybody loves microtransactions. Everybody. Nothing bad has ever happened to a game that was chock full of microtransactions.
For Honor.
By the way, that game is 50% off right now on everything. How long that game been out? Not even a year? They can't
I wish I had
give
never
it
bought
away.
it.
They cannot give it away. I like it. That's the sad thing is I like the game.
It would have been a good game if they hadn't ruined it.
But oh my god, yeah. Just everything about it was terrible. So Yeah, so essentially what this boils down to is they want to charge you for they're doing a crate system, kind of like every game ever does now. The ones that Sean loves, where he gets to gamble.
Gambling.
Yeah, but it doesn't immediately make it a bad crate system.
No.
Why is it bad, Matt? Why is it a bad system?
What does make it a bad crate system is the fact that according to the forum post here, and let me scroll down here. Gold, another form of in-game currency which can be used to get higher level loot chests, war chests, boosts, and bundles. Gold can be acquired by purchasing through the PlayStation Store. You'll be awarded a small amount for specific milestones. So essentially,
But if you keep reading that though, it claims that people who buy gold are not going to have a advantage.
I don't believe that for a minute.
It says it gives you gear.
Yeah. That's what I don't understand.
Armor and weapons.
Yeah.
How does that?
No, it
unless
says
they just look different.
It says higher level loot chests, war chests, boost bundles. So if it's higher level, how is it not better? I don't get it. And they're gonna have some.
Well, it's because you don't have to grind for it, is what it is. It's early access to it. It is the earliest access to gear. You just think about it, and then you take your credit card out, and you get all the gear. You just like, oh, here's $98. How many boxes did I get? Oh, I'm gonna open them on Steam.
That's only-
Comment created content.
That's only after you give them $98 for the base game or whatever the hell much this is gonna cost.
Probably $60.
Yeah, but the thing is, I can't get behind this. I can't get behind it.
Okay,
'Cause
so
there was nothing wrong with that game. This is just a cash grab now. That's all it is. There was nothing wrong with the way the game worked before. They had the Nemesis system. They had all that shit. People liked it. People played it. People are still playing it. They took time to develop the game. The announced trailer looked cool. Everything they showed at E3 looked cool. Everything was good. And then they're just like, hey, you know what you guys need? You need us to poop in your cereal. Here's some microtransactions. See you later. Like, I don't understand.
Hopefully they didn't open up pre-orders before dropping that bombshell.
God only knows.
I don't know. It does say though that something about it only applies to online conquest and vendetta mode.
Right, but that's multiplayer modes. So
Yeah, so anything online. So you can play the game single player by yourself, and
It will
that
be fine.
won't ever interfere. So I mean, I wonder how many people is that going to affect? Because I'm not going to play this game online.
But
I'm
you're,
just not.
you're slicing out. So how much time did they spend on the online mode though? It'd be one thing if the online mode
true.
was just thrown in there all willy nilly afterwards. But this is a war. This is so in my brain. You're collecting these captains. You're taking part in a war. You're gonna have all this cool shit that's gonna go down. You're gonna want to play that online. It could potentially be really sweet to play online.
But I did read something that I was shocked about on those articles was that you can play 100% of the game offline. Which is kind of rare anymore for games like that.
100% of the single player game.
The campaign.
Yeah, but I want you to think about this for a minute. Do you guys know that Call of Duty still has a single-player campaign, right?
What?
Wait,
Yeah.
no.
I know, it's amazing. It's
No.
incredible, right? But it does. So I want you to think about that for a minute. So how much are you lopping off of a game you're going to pay $60 for if you're just going to cut out the online content because you don't want to deal with loot chests?
But did Shadows of Mordor have online
No.
multiplayer at all?
I don't believe so. I didn't see it.
Okay.
I
But
played it recently.
that's the thing. That's the thing here. You can't really compare this to Call of Duty because Call of Duty is a competitive game, whereas this is. I mean, there's obviously online you're competing against other people, but it's on a way different level. I mean, I doubt that this is going to be like an MLG game. You're not going to be able to go to Grand Nationals and play War of Mordor.
Call of Duty 3, Call of Duty 4. They started as solo single player campaigns. But look at the newest games that have come out in the AAA space. We're talking about your For Honors. We're talking about your Call of Duties, right? We're talking about your Overwatches. All that stuff is all online. Online's where them dollars is, son. Indies are taking a lot of the single player space. At least that's how it feels to me. So
I would agree with that.
If indies are dominating that space, they have absolutely no desire because the money is in multiplayer, right? The money is there. You can charge them for, hey, you want to look fancy? You want to wear a fancy dress while you're running around shooting people in the face? I can do that.
Because you're now not the only person that's going to see your character.
Right. Yeah. Well, and then in this case, it's not a matter of, oh, you have a fancy dress on. It's, oh, you're completely geared out and you're going to do more damage because you had more money in your bank account.
And that's exactly how I could see this going. They're claiming that's not what it's going to be, but I don't know. It literally says right above that, higher level loot. So if it's higher level, unless it's something you can work your way up to, I don't understand. Because there's a section where they do like question and answers, like, do I have to pay for gold? No, gold is awarded in small amounts. It can be purchased. What do you mean gold can save time? By simply engaging with the world and playing through Middle-earth Shadow of War, you can earn items like gear for the Talion and unique orcs for your army. These are the same items that will be found in the market within the loot chests. Gold merely allows you to get your hands on them immediately. So their whole thing is, no, it doesn't give you an advantage. It just means that, like, for the first week that everybody has the game, that dickhead that dropped $200 is going to be destroying everybody. So,
Super Tanuki suit.
So, well,
Yep.
I'm just hoping that it doesn't build on that, though, right? Because I don't know what this multiplayer is going to look like. Is this online conquest and all this shit? Can I come into your base and kill all your orcs that you worked really hard for? And if that's the case,
yes.
Okay, if that's the case, right? The dickhead who spends $200, he's gonna be able to walk in your base and murder all your shit like the first week the game comes out, because you're not gonna have time to keep up with that guy, right?
Yeah, but that's one of the perks of being a Kickstarter backer.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Bullshit. No, that's one of the perks of stealing your dad's wallet. That's all it is.
It does say right here that while your personal fortress and followers are available for others to attack in online conquest mode, your followers are not killed or removed if your fortress is defeated.
Okay, well that's good. That's good at least.
So you're not going to lose that stuff. And I'm sure that, like, yes, it's going to give you access to this gear quicker, but it's not like you're going to be able to, like, buy, I don't know what, like, the level cap is going to be. Let's say it's like 75's level cap. It's not like you're playing the game, you're level 2, and then you can buy maxed out gear. I'm sure the gear is going to be I'm sure the gear is going to be in relation to your current level, so there's still going to be some grind involved, but you're not going to have to work as hard, which I mean, that argument can be made for a lot of things. Like, for instance, okay, we play Heroes of the Storm a lot. I see this as, kind of similar to buying stim packs. But then again, with stuff like Heroes of the Storm, Blizzard has had the, forethought to realize that, hey, people don't need advantages. This game needs to be a well-rounded experience. So the only thing you can get is you're getting skins, you're getting more gold. That's it.
Yeah,
I mean, that's how this honestly should be. Yeah, that's how this honestly should be. It should be a, you get a special skin for your armor. Now you got some, like, diamond armor and it's all, like, glimmery and you glitter. Okay, that would be fine with me. I would be okay with that. And I might even throw some money at a game that would let me, customize, the way I look that only I can get, because I decide I'm going to spend my hard-earned money on it. I do not think it's fair that I can come in day one and be like, oh, I'm going to buy the max level gear that I can and hold on to it until I get, top level, because I'm going to grind my way through the game in 2 weeks and I'll be, I'll beat it and I'll get to where I need to. And then I won't have to work to get good gear, and then I'll be able to,
Yeah, there's no car in a loot crate in Rocket League that's faster or flies higher than the regular cars. And that's fine.
A lot of this mentality I've seen in a lot of, like, Japanese and Korean games that are free to play. You can go in and buy, level faster, and you get more health, and you don't have respawn times and stuff. That actually does give you a benefit.
Well, they're trying to pay for the project somehow, right?
But this is a $60 game from Warner Bros.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's not an acceptable thing from a AAA company. You're not trying to pay for a game. The game is already funded. You got lots of money in your pocket. You don't have to worry about that as long as you hit your street date. This is 100%. We want to make as much money as we can, and we want to continue making money in this game.
They better not do that with Destiny 2.
Oh, please. Destiny 2 is already...
Yeah.
I've already got a grave marker in my yard for Destiny 2. Destiny 2 is going
Goodbye.
to be awful. It's going to be terrible. Even if
I hope not.
Even if the release is kind of okay, like the first one was, it's going to drop off so quick because they don't know what they're doing. I don't think they're going to be able to manage the expectations from fans and keep themselves from being money-grubbing whores about it. And these companies really got to watch themselves when... Did you guys hear about Hellblade just came out?
Joe and Nick were talking about it. It
Dude,
looks interesting.
It is insane. It is insane. And that was a small indie team that put that game together. And it's getting great reviews. Yep. It looks gorgeous. It's got a deep story. It was made by, Team Ninja, right?
Ninja, was it Team Ninja or Ninja Theory?
Oh, yeah, Ninja Theory. So their whole thing is making a indie with a AAA look. And I think they've accomplished that with that game. I've been watching that game since I found it on GOG, just clicking around a couple of months ago, and I was pumped for it to come out. I didn't even realize it had come out, and then I'm seeing it all over the front page of Kotaku and stuff. Like, when you're competing with that, what are you doing? Like, just you're essentially just being like, pay us cuz.
Yeah, because the CEO's still got to buy another yacht.
Boo. That'd be like that episode of South Park where they're like, Jay-Z's kid's got to get a smaller yacht. He can't get the big one because you stole a song on the internet. It's the same thing. I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
So, anyway. All right. Well, we're running out of time here. Do you guys have any closing statements about garbage companies?
Yeah, now I'm just depressed.
Good. I made you sad. Go make sad music now. Go make sad music and make $1 million.
Melancholy synths incoming.
Yeah.
I expect a whole album that's just Smith's knockoffs.
Jesus. Every time it plays, it requests that you take all the meat out of the room too. That's the thing. So,
man, I want to listen to some Smiths now.
Yeah, use one of that.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, do it. Listen to some Morrissey. That's good for you. Everybody, listen to some Morrissey while we finish this out. Okay, so as always, if you are interested in us, what we do, or you want to see more from us, make sure you go to nerdlifetx.com. That's where all the latest and greatest, newest things that we do is going to go first. We've just had some restructuring, and we are pretty excited. It seems like some really good things are going to start coming out here pretty shortly. Zero Ping has taken over a lot of the writing for the site, so you're going to start seeing a lot more articles come out more frequently, and you're probably going to see some new writers appearing on there pretty shortly here, so that's pretty cool. Our merch selection has been expanding exponentially over the last few days, so make sure you go to tshirts.pizza to see all the cool crap you can buy from us. You can get the Wolfman Muscleford shirt. You can get the sweet skeleton shirt with the skull, and it's all badass, and it says NerdLife. You can get the Party Skeletons t-shirt, along with the official podcast t-shirt and the Get Big Son t-shirt, all of which are incredible. This will be coming out on the first day of GeekFest, which Sean and I will be attending. Just a heads up, there has been some scheduling conflicts, so we will no longer be running tournaments again. No longer running tournaments. However, we will be giving away some really awesome stuff. I actually picked up a few gift cards today that we're going to be raffling off and giving out. We have a Raspberry Pi to give out, so if you want a chance to earn that or win that, make sure you go to Sean's panel that he hosts about making your own retro gaming system. What's it called, Sean? What'd you call it?
It's a class. I don't know what I called the talk. I think it's like how to build an NES Classic for like $50.
So yeah,
something like that.
Yeah,
it's something catchy like that. But yeah, we're gonna talk about how you can build your own and not give all your money to Nintendo or to a scalper,
which I always support because
and end up with more games probably.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes.
So many more games. But yeah, so make sure that you stop by Sean's talk if you want a chance to win that Raspberry Pi. I picked it up today, so that is in our hands currently. And make sure you stop by our booth. It sounded like we're going to be over in Artists Row. We're still going to be doing some cool gaming stuff. We're still going to have a couple of retro pies set up for you guys to try out. We're still going to be there chatting to people. And if you stop over by the booth and you sign up for our newsletter or you add the podcast, subscribe to the podcast in front of me while you're there, you can prove that you are subscribed. You can grab a thumb drive from me. It will contain a Wolfman Muscleford track. It will contain a best of episode of this show, which you will only be able to get there, at least until we run out of things to say on the show and I need something for filler. Wolfman Musselford also was cool enough to make me some really cool bumpers that you will only hear in that show. And Sean and I are also talking about maybe recording another new podcast between now and then that will only be available on that thumb drive. So make sure you stop by and you get one of those thumb drives from us. It's just a dumb little thumb drive that says nerdlifetx.com on the side of it. But just kind of a promotional item for you guys to remember to check out the site and to hear some of what we do.
Something else we should say is we are actually, the next episode of this podcast will be recorded live at GeekFest with a full audience, I hope. So it'll be a little different experience.
Cool.
Yeah, Sean and I are going to be stuttering idiots in front of everybody. That'll be fun.
No, I think it'll be really good. We can do a little question and answer session with all the people there. We can scream, and it'll be good.
I want to get Arlo to tell the I dominated a little kid at video game story from last year, but I want him to say it in front of the entire congregation of people.
I'm going to make him stand up. He's going to stand on the desk, and I'm going to give him my microphone, and he's going to stand there and explain, like an AA meeting, why he beats kids.
Hey, I'm Arlo.
At video games.
And
I beat kids at Smash Brothers.
I make children cry. Good for him.
That's funny.
So, all right. Yeah, that's awesome. Make sure that you guys check out the other great shows that are on the Astro Panda Productions site, astropandaproductions.com. And actually, Ricky from Astro Panda Productions may be making an appearance with us at the convention there. So
yeah, he's going to be there. Cool. He's already verified that with me.
So there you go. Yeah, if you guys want to meet Ricky, the guy who makes all of this possible, make sure you stop over there and talk to him. I think it'll be cool. I'm hoping that I can get him to come to my podcasting on a budget talk as well, because if he swings by there, he will probably have some other cool pointers for you. So, okay. Piper, what else do you want to say, and where can people find you on the internet?
Things I'm going to say. GeekFest. So I'll kind of expand on that. Information about our booth. We're going to be, like Matt was saying, we're going to be by the Artist Alley. We're actually right outside of Artist Alley at GeekFest. So we're going to have a huge booth. I think we're going to have like 8 or like 10 tables of stuff set up. So we're going to have 6 gaming consoles set up. I'm going to bring also my PS4 and a PC. So we're pretty much just hanging out the whole weekend playing video games with everybody. We also have a bunch of giveaways that we're going to be doing just for coming up and talking to us and signing up for the newsletter. And we have stuff like, we have some toys. We had some Funko Pops we're going to be giving away. Some Mega Block sets. I got a gaming keyboard, all kinds of cool stuff like that. And you don't have to give us any money. So we are giving it away, and you just got to come up and talk to us and chat and kind of follow us on whatever. So make sure if you're going to be at CTC GeekFest, or you would like to, please come by and check out the booth. That would be much appreciated. You guys can find me on Twitter at GWSRaincore, RAINKORE, or NerdLifeTX on everything in the whole world, ever.
Cool. Wolfman Musselford, a.k.a. Tim, where can people find you, and what do you want to plug, sir?
Cupcakes. I think cupcakes are awesome.
Cupcakes are delicious.
Cupcakes?
Yes.
I support your decision to talk about cupcakes on this show.
Party skeletons, also awesome. Indie games in general are sweet because they push the envelope. You can find me at Wolfman Muscle FO because of character limits on Twitter. And until it's no longer a thing, you can find me on SoundCloud. /Wolfman Musselford and bandcamp.com. You can also find Power Armor on iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play Music, and Pandora.
Nice. Everything.
Yeah, everything. Cool. And if you buy that album, that pretty much goes directly to Wolfman Musselford, and it's
which I will reinvest into music software to make, or hardware rather, to make more music.
Right. So it's not that expensive. I think you're asking what, like $5 to $7, something like that for it.
$7 for the 14-track album, which is an hour long. 14 tracks. The Superbike EP is free. You can donate a dollar amount if you want, but that one is free. It will be out soon. My gift to the world.
So yeah, there you go. So definitely make sure you go there and check that out. And heck, why not proudly wear a Wolfman Muscleford t-shirt that you purchased at t-shirts.pizza? Yeah,
Wolfman's Muscle Shirt.
Yeah, Wolfman's Muscle
Do
Shirt.
it.
So all right, cool. I am Nitro Weasel 3K. You can find me with that name on just about everything: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of the things. Friendster. That's my BlackBerry Messenger.
What is
code.
Friendster?
Yeah.
It was really dumb. It was like an early social media thing where you could only be friends with people that you were actually friends with in real life, and that's like how.
Oh, that sounds
Yeah, it was
horrible.
awful. I'm like, why would I make that?
I don't want to be friends with the people I know.
Ooh, I don't like talking to people that I know how to talk to. That's bullshit.
I could just go outside and do that.
So, yeah. So until next time, make sure you guys comment on everything you see wherever you're seeing this. Leave us a comment or a review. That really helps us out, especially on things like iTunes. Give us the old thumbs up. Give us the old 5-star. Leave us a little review about how terrible Artemis sounds, and that would really help us out. Also, tell your friends, family, neighbors, strangers on the street, and hobos on the train all about this show. If we can get more people listening, that would be really cool. Our numbers have been up the last few months, and I think that has a lot to do with you guys. So we really, really appreciate that.
Yeah, maybe share us with your random Discord gamer contacts,
Right, exactly. That's
spam our stuff everywhere.
What we've been doing. I just like to jump into random Discord channels, just post a link, and then leave. I don't got time.
And
to
then they
talk
kick
to
you out.
I'm busy. I got to go run my cult on my stream. So until next time, we appreciate you guys stopping by. Make sure you go to GeekFest if you can, which would be the Friday this comes out. So today, make sure you go over and to Central Texas.
Come today, quickly.
Go to Central Texas. Go, everybody. I don't
Right
care.
now.
Guy from Europe that listens every week. Central Texas College.
Is that gonna be in the path of totality for the eclipse?
I hope so.
What do you,
It's a
you
sign.
live in darkness? Is that what you're saying? So, I already live in darkness. I don't need this. I don't need this in my life. Get out of here with that, Moon. Get out of here.
You're getting in the way of my sun. You're cutting out my
Hey,
brightness.
you're killing my brightness. You're really killing my buzz. You're harshing my buzz. Okay, cool. Thanks a lot, guys, and we will talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye. I'm opening my documents. Ready? 1. Stop. I'm trying to record.
2.
What?
2.
Stop. They can hear you.
3.
Yes, she is. Go.
4. 4.
Do you hear her yell 4? Do you hear her yell 4? Do you hear her yell 4? Do you hear her yell